إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Biro. Wannan darasin da turanci fa aka ce za wato maksudi na'am wato maksudi waɗanda akwai mutane da suke ta nuna suna son su bibiyi darussa da turanci to kuma yawanci abubuwan da ake da su da suke yawo da turanci din yawanci lakcoci ne. To lecture ko ba karatu ba ce, ba ilimi ba ne. To shi yasa sai kaga cikin dai abin da ya saura na rayuwa zai yi kyau din ya zamanto mun an samu darasin tafsirin alkur'ani a turanci. To kuma sai muka ce za mu yi wannan littafin Tashil al-Ulum at-Tanzil. Tashil al-Ulum at-Tanzil. Wannan ba zai zamanto kamar darasin tafsirin Hausa da muke ba wanda yake za a tattaro tafsirai da yawa ne. Wannan tafsirin kawai muke so mu lakanta insha Allah. So today is the 29th day of Jumada al-Akhirah, 1446 after Hijrah, corresponding to the 31st of December 2024 of the Common Era. So the last day of this year, this will be our first dars in this mosque of Zayd ibn Haritha in Bompai district of this city of Kano. May Allah protect and guard and bless this city of Kano and other cities of Islam as well, other Muslim cities. It was after Ramadan last year that on consultation with some students, it was decided that we would be holding a weekly dars on tafsir in this mosque of Zayd ibn Haritha. But as Allah has decreed, we've been unable to start. So now how many years? Almost 9 months? Almost 9 months. Yes, after Ramadan. The dars is going to be in the tafsir of Al-Quran, and we are going to base it on the book of the tafsir of Tashil fi al-Ulum at-Tanzil. Tashil fi al-Ulum at-Tanzil by the Spanish scholar, the scholar of Granada, Abul Qasim Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Juzay al-Ghirnati. He was a famous scholar of fiqh, of hadith, of Arabic language, and of tafsir, and of qira'at. And his book that is famous is Al-Qawanin al-Fiqhiyah. Al-Qawanin al-Fiqhiyah, and it is the book that we use for our dawrah in fiqh al-mu'amalat. When we did fiqh of commercial transactions, we based it on the book of Al-Qawanin al-Fiqhiyah which is a summary of the madhab of Imam Malik, while highlighting the areas of differences between the madhab of Imam Malik and the Hanafi, Shafi'i and Hanbali madhabs. And it's a widely respected book. And his other book, which we have also read, is Tashil al-Usul al-Usul. You remember, it was a book which we read called in Usul al-Fiqh. We read it, Tafsir al-Usul, afwan. Tafsir al-Usul ila ilm al-Usul. We studied it with some students. He lived in the 8th century after Hijrah, and that is why his brief biography is in Ad-Durar al-Kamina fil A'yan al-Mi'at al-Thamaniya, the hidden diamonds of the noble personalities of the 800th year, that is the 8th century after Hijrah. He died in the year 741 after Hijrah. He died missing in battle. Yes, he died missing in battle. That is why he is regarded as a shaheed, as a martyr, during the battle of Tarifa. The battle of Tarifa is also called the battle of Rio Salado. Rio Salado. It was fought between King Alfonso of Portugal, Alfonso IV, and Alfonso the 11th of Castile. The two of them, the two kings, they joined to fight Al-Amir, King Abul Hassan Ali of the Marinid dynasty, who were in Morocco and who was able to capture Jabal Tariq, Gibraltar. You know, Gibraltar is at the tip of the Iberian Peninsula that separates it from Africa. The tiny passage, Gibraltar, is the nearest point between Europe and Africa. So the Moroccan rulers, the Marinids, they captured Gibraltar, and the Amir of Granada, Yusuf, at that time, he sought the help of the Mariniyun from Maghrib to come and help him against the Crusaders. At that time, you know, the Iberian Peninsula was about to fall to the Catholic kings, and they fought the battle, and it was in that battle that Al-Imam Ibn Juzay was declared missing in battle. So it's not clear whether he was declared missing in battle, so that is why he's regarded as a shaheed, as a martyr. His body was never found. And he was instrumental in the battle because he was given the khutbah to encourage people to go and fight fi sabilillah. So he was from Granada. Granada is still you hear Granada, in Spain. Yes, but in Arabic it's called Al-Girnata. So he was called Al-Girnati, Al-Kalbi, Al-Girnati. He's from there. Even though he's from originally, he has Arabic roots. He's from the tribe of Kalb, which is an old Arabic tribe. An old Arabic tribe. I think they are Najdi or Yemeni. I'm not sure, but they are not Hijazi. They are not Mudar. Up till now, you know, when you see people in Spain, you will see Arabic features in them because they are their ancestors were Arabs. You know, the Muslims, they ruled Spain for how many years? Over 600 years. Granada was the last emirate to fall to the Catholics. It was the last Muslim city of Andalus to fall to the Catholics. It fell in the year 1492. That is in the 15th year. But you see, look how Allah will have it. The cities of Andalus were falling, and Allah was giving victory to the Ottomans, and they were defeating the Byzantine Empire. The Ottoman armies, they had victory over Constantinople in 1453. At the time, all the emirates of Spain were falling. They were, the Muslims were having victory towards the east in Constantinople. So, no, not over the crusade. Well, yes. Well, the crusade. Usually, crusaders, they are referred to those who went to fight in Palestine, in Jerusalem. Yes, to capture Jerusalem. They were the ones that are referred to as crusaders, because they were mobilized to go and save the Holy Land. They were saved. In the Spanish Peninsula, in the Iberian Peninsula, it was just the Catholics, and they were fighting not only Muslims but as well as Jews. Yes. So Ibn Juzay, he wrote many books. He's Ibn Juzay. Some scholars, they say Ibn Juzay, but I've never found anyone referring to him as Ibn Juzay, even though I had one of the eminent scholars, one of our eminent scholars here in Nigeria, he corrected me. He said it's not Ibn Juzay, it's Ibn Juzay. But I've never found the proof for that. But Ibn Juzay, that is how he is well known, and that is how I did. I researched the name. I can't remember now the source where the exact spelling and the exact vowels were identified. It's Ibn Juzay. That is the accurate thing. He was very devoted to knowledge, reading and writing. He used to say, لِكُلِّ بَنِي الدُّنْيَا مُرَادٌ وَمَقْصِدُ وَإِنَّ مُرَادِي صِحَّةً وَفَرَاغٌ. He said, for any son of this world, he has a desire and he has a goal. My own goal, my own desire is health and free time. Sihhatun wa farag. Sihhatan wa farag. Health and free time, not busy, not busybody. Why do I need health and farag? He said, لِأَبْلُغَ فِي عِلْمِ الشَّرِيعَةِ مَبْلَغًا يَكُونُ بِهِ لِي فِي الْحَيَاةِ بَلَاغٌ. So that I will reach a station in the knowledge of the Sharia that will make me attain, that will make me have attainment in this life. فَفِي مِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيُنَافِسْ أُولُو النُّهَى وَحَسْبِي مِنَ الدُّنْيَا الْغُرُورُ بَلَاغُ. For something like this, those who are the people of intellect should do their competition. That is competition not for wealth, but to reach a level, to attain a level of knowledge of the Sharia. وَحَسْبِي مِنَ الدُّنْيَا الْغَرُورُ بَلَاغُ. It is enough for me in this world, that is this deceitful world. It is enough for me to find what will be sufficient for me. That is, he doesn't want to gather the world. Al-Balag, just what will be enough for me to keep on traveling. ففي مثلها فما العيش إلا في نعيم مؤبد به العيش وعد والشراب يصاب. فما العيش, life, there is no life except in permanent pleasure. Na'im, permanent ni'mah, na'im, that is enjoyment. به العيش رغد والشراب يصاب. In that life is full of plenty, and the drinks, it's a drink that is very palatable, very good drink. So you should just be after the words. There's a lot of hikmah in it. Now his book. This book, At-Tashil, is well known as a book of tafsir. And the book has got a very the book, it contains 4 special qualities. The first one is that it is a book that has gathered together, this is from his own testament, this is what he says. It has brought together a lot of knowledge in a book that is very little, that is very short. In a short book, but a lot of knowledge. So that he will make it easy for students of knowledge, and for all those who wish to have knowledge of tafsir, they will find it easy for them to attain a level of knowledge of tafsir. Because it contains what the long books, the long volumes of books of tafsir has contained, but in a way, in a concise and summarized fashion. And many things that are regarded as extra, he has removed from the long books of tafsir and just maintained the very essential ones. There is no deficiency, and there is no superfluousness. It's not too, he doesn't go into so many things, and he doesn't make it too concise as to make it not understandable. The second feature of this book is that he has been able to extract and present very rare points of knowledge that is very hard for you to find in other books. And the third quality of this book is that the areas that are difficult to understand, he has made them very, very easy. And the last one is that he's been able to critically look at the statements of the ulama of tafsir. Whatever they say, it's not all that the ulama of tafsir they say is right. There is what is right and there is what is not right. So he has been able to sieve through to arrive at what is the nearest to what is correct. And he gave the book this name, Tashil al-Ulum at-Tanzil. That is making Tashil, that is making it easy to attain the knowledges of Al-Quran. So in that, because of that, he made al-Muqaddimah, he made a very long introduction. Very long introduction. And this introduction is itself a book of knowledge in the field of knowledge of the Quran, Ulum al-Quran. So it's like a subject of Ulum al-Quran, which he has made the introduction to this tafsir. Or you could call it Ulum al-Tafsir, the knowledge of tafsir or knowledge of Quran. Will not be able to go through this because it is indeed very, very long. But I hope in a kind of what we'll call a workshop, or like we take some days in a week when inshallah we'll have like 3-4 days, we'll just make a concise, a summarized, a summary of this introduction and then present it. But what he presented in this introduction is contains 12 chapters. The first chapter on the revelation of the Quran on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he talked about how the Quran was revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how it was committed to writing and how the surahs were arranged together, the sequencing of the surahs, and then the names of the Quran, and also the development of the writing of the Quran. You know, in the beginning it was written without dots, without vowels, without harakat, and without dots. So Bismillah, there will not be the nuqta of ba. Yes, the dots are not there. And Maliki, there will not be the alif. So that's why some Qur'an they recite it as Maliki, because it's written like that, Mim, Lam, Kaf. And even the Kaf, it doesn't have that Hamza that is there in the Kaf. Now all this, who did it, it was done later. So he talked about this. Then the second chapter in the classification of the surahs of the Quran, between the Meccan surahs and the Medinan surahs. And then the third chapter on the types of knowledge that are contained in the Quran. What are the types of the categories of knowledge that are contained in the Quran, which is the Tawheed, prophethood, the day of judgment, or the next life, the afterlife. Then al-ahkam, rulings of ibadat and mu'amalat. And then al-wa'ad, that is glad tidings, al-wa'id, warnings. And then the stories of the Quran. And the stories of the Quran too, they are categorized into several types. Then the fourth chapter, the knowledges that are related to Al-Quran, to the Quran itself. And here he talked about the area of tafsir, the subject of tafsir. What does it mean? And then after tafsir, part of the knowledges that are contained in the Quran, tafsir is about the meaning of the Quran, of the ayahs of the Quran. Then there are ahkamul Quran, the rulings of the Quran. This is also a field of knowledge. That's why you have books of tafsir that are called ahkamul Quran, like ahkamul Quran of Ibn al-Arabi and ahkamul Quran of al-Jassas. Then there is another area of knowledge is an-nasakh, that is abrogation. Then he mentioned the areas of knowledge that the one who wants to become a mufassir is necessary for him to know. He mentions hadith, and he mentions knowledge of al-akhlaq, or he said at-tasawwuf, which is that is al-akhlaq, that is how to acquire good character and remove evil character from yourself. Then tawheed, then usul al-fiqh, then knowledge of Arabic, the knowledge of Arabic grammar, knowledge of eloquence. And then he went on to al-bab al-khamis, on what is the basis, why is it that the scholars of tafsir, they differ among themselves. And he mentioned the areas of why they differed, and where they differ, how do you arrive at the under strong opinion, when they differ, how do you know who is more correct than the other? What is called at-tarjih. And he mentions the principles that you have to follow in doing tafsir. Then he went on to the 6th chapter, and he mentioned the famous scholars of tafsir, starting from the first generation. From among the first group of the scholars of tafsir are the Sahaba, and among the Sahaba, it's not all of them they have the same level of knowledge of tafsir. He mentioned those who are famous in tafsir. Then the second generation, the Tabi'un, and he mentioned the ones who are best in tafsir, like Al-Hasan al-Basri, Sa'id ibn Jubair, Mujahid, Mawla ibn Abbas, Alqama, Ikrima, Qatada, As-Suddi, Ad-Dhahhak ibn Muzahim, Abu Salih, and Abu al-Aliya. Then those who came after them, till he came to the people of Andalus and the west of the Muslim world, and he mentioned those who were famous in tafsir in that area. Then he mentioned that the next chapter is on abrogation and the verses that abrogate, an-nasikh wal-mansukh, and he mentions them. And then the qira'at, the variants, how the Quran is recited, the various forms of qira'ah, of the recitation of the Quran. And he mentioned the 7 famous qurra, the 7 famous reciters of hadith, who are Nafi' al-Madani, Ibn Kathir al-Makki, Abu Amr ibn al-Ala of Basra, Ibn Amir of Syria, Asim wa Hamza wal-Kisai of Kufa, the Iraqis. Then the remaining 3, Yaqub al-Habrami, Ibn Muhaysin, and Yazid ibn al-Qaqa. So after that, he went on to speak about al-waqf, how to stop when you are reciting the Quran. Then the eloquence of the Quran, what is there of the Quran of eloquence, and he mentioned the types of eloquence that are there in the Quran. Then the Ijazul Quran, the miracle of the Quran, that is chapter 11, and then chapter 12 on the excellence of the Quran. The excellence of the Quran, what has come about the excellence of the Quran. Then the second introduction is Tafsir Ma'ani al-Lugha. It's like a whole book, this one. You know, al-Mufradat. The individual, the individual words of the Quran. It's like this is like a kind of a dictionary of the Quran. A kind of dictionary of the Quran, and this is very long. He started from words starting with alif, and he ended with words that start with aliyah, which is the last letter of alphabets. And then he went on to speak about al-isti'adha, and we'll start from there, inshallah. Al-isti'adha, that is seeking refuge, taking refuge in Allah, seeking refuge in Allah from shaitan. He says, al-kalamu al-isti'adha. This is discourse on al-isti'adha, that is seeking Allah's, seeking refuge in Allah. في أشر فوائد, there are 10 points من فنون مختلفة from different fields of knowledge. الأولى لفظ التعوذ على 5 أوجه. How to say isti'adha, it has got 5 forms of saying isti'adha. You say either أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. This has been reported on the authority of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أخرجه أبو داود. And then there is also, or you say, and this is what the Qur'an, the reciters of the Quran, this is the form they prefer. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That's why you find all the famous Qur'an, all the Qur'an that have got their recitation, this is how they say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Isn't it the way? Yes. Because this is how they recited in front of their sheikhs. And you know, qira'ah is, you don't just go and learn how to recite from the book. You have to go and recite in front of the sheikh, in front of the qari, and he will even give you ijazah. You have to recite the whole Quran with one of the variants. So all the Qur'an, when they come to open their recitation, they start with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This is the most famous, and it has been reported on the authority of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is in, let me just get the hadith for us.
I hope everybody is understanding what they say.
You see, it is good we checked, but even though he has said Raqam al-Hadith 667. It's a different nuskha. What has come here is the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا قام من الليل كبر. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he stood up in prayer in the night, he used to say Allahu Akbar. ثم يقول, then he will say سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك تبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك. ثم يقول لا إله إلا الله 3 times. ثم يقول الله أكبر كبيرا 3 times. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. ثم يقرأ. Then he will start his recitation.
No basmala.
Naam?
No basmala.
No, the basmala will come after at the beginning of the recitation. But this is before the recitation. This is before the recitation. The second form which he mentioned is A'udhu billahi al-azim min ash-shaytanir rajim. The third is A'udhu billahi al-qawi min ash-shaytanil ghawi. And A'udhu billahi, the meaning of A'udhu billahi al-qawi, I seek refuge in Allah the strong, min ash-shaytanil ghawi, from the Alhamdulillah. From shaitan, the misled, or the one who is astray, the one who is astray. The fourth is A'udhu billahi al-majid min ash-shaytan al-marid. That is, I seek refuge in Allah al-majid, the mighty, min ash-shaytan al-marid, from the shaitan that is obstinate, strong-headed, al-marid. Al-Marid, who will never obey you. Stubborn. Yes, the stubborn shaitan. وأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. This one too has come. وهو مروي عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. It was reported on the authority of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. The second point is يؤمر القارئ بالاستعاذة قبل القراءة سواء ابتدأ أول سورة أو جزء سورة على الندب. The one who is reciting the Quran, he is instructed to do أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Either at the beginning, whether you are starting at the beginning of a surah or part of a surah. It doesn't have to be only at the beginning of the surah. Even if it is in the middle of the surah, it is you are instructed to do that. But this instruction is not obligatory. قال على الندب, that is, it is recommended. Mandub is recommended. Naam.
In Quran, he said that إذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان.
Naam.
Isn't that meant from Allah?
Eh.
So why is it now optional?
نعم. The command definitely is an instruction. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was reported to do isti'adha in the first rak'ah. It was not narrated that he used to do in every rak'ah. And every rak'ah has got recitation. Even though it is the opinion of Imam Shafi'i that you do isti'adha in every rak'ah, just as you do basmala. But the hadith that describe the opening of recitation of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to do at the first rak'ah. So that shows that doing it in the subsequent rak'ahs is not obligatory. And once you find something that has been given an exception from a command that would have been that will denote obligation, then the exception shows that that command is not mandatory, is not obligatory.
In other words, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam demonstrated in practical way
the interpretation of the verse. And actually, we did this in Tafsir of Surah al-Nahl. And I think, inshallah, after the dars, I will check up to remember what Ibn Ashur mentioned regarding this. So, which Sheikh al-Albani mentioned in Sifatu Salat al-Nabi. Because in Sifatu Salat al-Nabi, Sheikh Nasiruddin al-Albani, rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam كان صلى الله عليه وسلم يستعيذ بالله تعالى فيقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. This is number 6. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. I seek refuge I take refuge in Allah from the shaitan, the accursed shaitan. Min hamzihi, from his whispering. Wa nafkhihi, and from his blowing, that is his kibr. That is from his arrogance. That is what he will blow you to make you feel arrogant. Wa nafkhihi, and from his nafath, which is spitting, yes. But what is meant by the spitting is evil poetry, evil songs. That is nafath shaitan.
Whispers.
No, not the whispers is hams. Hams is the whispers, waswas. But nafath is music. Eh? The evil, bad music, bad evil music. Ash-shi'r al-batil.
Can we just say evil influence?
Evil influence, but it is specific because even whispering is an evil influence. But here he means what he uses to, one of the tricks that he uses to turn people away from the right path is through music. So this is 6 ko. Then number 7 is أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من نفخه ونفثه وهمزه. So these are the 7 forms. الثالثة يجهر بالاستعاذة عند الجمهور. According to the majority of scholars, you say the istikhara aloud.
Yeah.
When you are reciting, you say it aloud. Now, the isti'adha. What did I say? Isti'adha, yes. وهو المختار, and this is what is preferred. وروى الإخفاء عن حمزة ونافع. Hamza al-Kufi and Nafi' al-Madani, it has been reported from them that you can say it silently. So you see here, Ibn Juzay is speaking from the point of view of the Qur'an, the reciters of the Qur'an. Yes, the reciters of the Qur'an. الرابعة لا يتعوذ في الصلاة عند مالك. According to Malik, you don't do at-ta'awud, you don't do isti'adha in prayer. According to Malik, ويتعوذ في أول ركعة عند الشافعي وأبي حنيفة. But according to Imam Shafi'i and Abi Hanifa, you do the isti'adha in the awwal rak'ah, in the first rak'ah. وفي كل ركعة عند قوم, and in every rak'ah according to some scholars whom he has not mentioned. But and here it is a riwayah with Imam Ahmad that you say it in every rak'ah. Wa inda qawmin, maybe he is referring to here. Let's see what Sheikh Nasr said. Okay, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim only is in Marasil Abu Dawud. This is where he got it wrong. He is in the Marasil of Abu Dawud. Naam. Wa fahujjatu Malik amalu ahli al-Madina. The reason, the proof for Malik, his basis is the practice in Medina. Amal Ahl al-Madina, the people of Medina. What he made the scholars were doing, they said doing A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim should not be done inside the prayer. But we have clear hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. This is one of the areas where we are not with the madhab of Malik. Because there are clear hadith among whom the ones that I mentioned. وَهُجَّةُ قَوْلِ غَيْرِهِ, and the basis for what others have said is قَوْلُ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى, what Allah has said, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. When you recite the Quran, seek refuge in Allah from the shaitan that is accursed. وَذَلِكَ يَؤُمُّ الصَّلَاةَ وَغَيْرِهَا. And this is in prayer and outside prayer. Al-Khamisa, the fifth point, إِنَّمَا جَاءَ أَعُوذُ بِالْمُضَارِعِ دُونَ الْمَاضِي. I am seeking refuge in Allah, in the present tense. Not I sought refuge in Allah, not in the past tense. لأن معنى الاستعاذة لا يتعلق إلا بالمستقبل. Because the meaning of seeking refuge, of doing isti'adha, it is in the future. لأنها كالدعاء, because it is like a prayer, it is like an invocation. وإنما جاء بهمزة المتكلم وحده مشاكلة للأمر به. But it came with he said أعوذ, not نعوذ, singular, because in the Quran it says فاستعذ, you singular, you are addressed alone. So that is why you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, and you don't say نعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. That is because this is how it came in the Quran. السادسة, point number 6, الشيطان. الشيطان يحتمل أن يراد به الجنس. It is possible that what is meant by الشيطان is the species of shayateen, anyone who is shaitan. فتكون الاستعاذة من جميع الشياطين. So the isti'adha is seeking protection from all the shaitans, all the satans. أو الأحد, or it may mean a peculiar, a shaitan, the peculiar shaitan. So isti'adha is from Iblis. You are seeking refuge of Allah from Iblis, the head of all, the head of shaitana. وَهُوَ مِنْ شَطَانَ. What is the meaning of shaitan? It is extracted from shatana, إِذَا بَعُدَ. Shatana, that is he's gone far. إِذَا بَعُدَ, when somebody becomes very far. فَالنُّونَ أَصْلِيَّةٌ وَالْيَاء زَائِدَةٌ. So noon is part of the word, and the ya is an additional word, is an addition. وَزْنُهُ فَيْعَال, shaitan. وَقِيلَ مِنْ شَاطَ إِذَا هَاجَرَ. And it is also said that it is from shata. Shata, when he al-hayajan is to violently shake, or is to violently you know, like the wind, when it's the whirlwind, when it does, that is hayajan. Yes, like tornado, you know, the way it is so powerful in pushing.
Very, very,
yes,
powerful and dangerous.
So shaitan is from that, the way he instigates, you to become angry, and to or when you or to have a strong desire for something, because he has that. So it is extracted from that word. When he is referred to as shaitan, meaning the one who is far, is because he has been made far away from the mercy of Allah. Ar-Rajim, the meaning of Ar-Rajim, fa'il bima'na maf'ul. ويحتمل معنيين. There are two possible meanings. أن يكون بمعنى لعين وطريد, the accursed, and the one who has been sent away, who has been sent away, at-tard, who has been turned away and sent away. وهذا يناسب إبليس, and this is definitely this conforms to the nature of Iblis. لقوله وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين, and we have made the stars, the heating rujuman, those that turn away the satans. Oh, it's called rujuman, ar-rajm, the shooting stars. Allah has made the stars to turn away the shayateen. وَالْأَوَّلُ أَظْهَرُ. Point number 8. مَنِ اسْتَعَاذَ بِاللَّهِ صَادِقًا أَعَاذَهُ. Whoever seeks refuge of Allah, whoever takes refuge in Allah truthfully, then Allah will give him refuge. فَعَلَيْكَ بِالصِّدْقِ. Therefore, you should be truthful. أَلَا تَرَى امْرَأَةَ إِمْرَانَ. Don't you see the wife of Imran? لَمَّا أَعَاذَتْ Maryam. When she sought refuge of Allah from her daughter Maryam, وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا, and her progeny, أَسَمَهَا Allah. Allah protected her. وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. I seek your refuge. I seek refuge for her and for her offspring from the accursed shaitan. ففي الحديث الصحيح, it came in the authentic hadith, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, ما من مولود إلا نحسه الشيطان. There is no newborn baby but that the shaitan will choke him. فيستهل صارخا, so he will come down صارخا, crying and raising his voice. إلا ابن مريم وأمه, except the son of Maryam and his mother. So you see, because she said it truthfully, Allah gave her refuge. At-Tasi'a, point number 9, الشيطان عدو. Shaitan is an enemy. وحذر الله منه, and Allah has taken us, Allah has warned us from him, against him. إذ لا مطمع في زوال علة عداوته, because there is no hope that the reason for his enmity will go away. There is no way that you can say, let me do siyasa to shaitan. Let's do siyasa, maybe I will win him over and he will stop his enmity. No way. There can be no sympathy with Satan. وهو يجري من ابن آدم مجرى الدم, and he flows in the body of the son of Adam just like blood flows. The flow of blood. He goes everywhere and so quick. فيأمره أولا بالكفر. In the beginning he will command him to do kufr, to reject Allah, to reject faith. وَيُشَكِّكُهُ فِي الْإِيمَانِ, and he will make him to have doubt in his iman, in his belief. فَإِنْ قَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ, if he finds control over him in that, if he has power over him, وَإِلَّا أَمَرَهُ بِالْمَعَاصِي. If he finds power over him, he's able to make him a kafir, he's finished him. He'll just leave him. But if he is unable, then he will start commanding him with ma'as, acts of sins against Allah. فَإِنْ أَطَاعَهُ, if he obeys him, so that's what he wants. وَإِلَّا, but if he does not obey him, ثَبَّطَهُ عَنِ الطَّاعَةِ, he will make him very slow and very reluctant to obey Allah. When it is time for prayer, he will start getting excuses. He will start trying to find excuses. Or he will find the bed will become so warm and the sleep will be so nice. in the cold season. So that is at-tathbit. That is, he will make you heavy to go forth in obedience to Allah. فَإِنْ سَلِمَ مِنْ ذَلِكَ, if he escapes from all this, that is from kufr, from ma'asi, from at-tathbit and at-ta'a, أَفْسَدَهَا عَلَيْهِ بِالرِّيَاءِ وَالْعُجُبِ, then he will destroy his ta'a, his act of obedience, with riya, with show off, and ujub and conceit. A riya is to do it in front of people so that people will praise you. so that people will praise you. It destroys ikhlas. And al-ujub is to feel that you are the one who is to give yourself, is to self-righteousness. You say, hey, you are this, you are that. You are, yes. There is no humility and there is no feeling that la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You feel it is by your strength and you feel you have done something, you have done a lot, you have accomplished. And there is this author of this slave of Allah that will be brought on the day of judgment. And Allah will say, put my slave in paradise because of my favor and my mercy. And you say, Allah, not because of my ibadah, not because of my ibadah, all that I did, because he was a very devoted person. So he felt his ibadah deserves for him to enter paradise, not the favor of Allah. And then Allah will say, okay, weigh for him, weigh the deeds that he has done. Then it will be weighed. And then Allah will tell the angels to weigh the favor of Allah on him for breathing air only. And then it will outweigh his deeds. And Allah will say, put my slave in hellfire because of his deeds, on account of his deeds. It's rahama. But you see, you enter paradise because of the mercy of Allah. But your position is in paradise is in accordance to your deeds. That's why in the Quran it says, "Udkhulul jannata bima kuntum ta'malun." Enter paradise because of what you used to do. Your station is according to your deeds. But for you to enter paradise, it is by the mercy and favor of Allah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Lan yadkhula ahadukumul janna bi'amalihi." None of you will enter paradise on account of his deeds. Illa an yataghammadahu Allahu birahmatin minhu wa fadl. Except if Allah covers him, see, and favor. They said, even you, Ya Rasulullah. He said, even me. Except if Allah covers me with his mercy and his favor. So it is by the mercy and favor of Allah that inshallah we will all enter Jannah. Al-Ashira, point number 10, Al-Qawati' anillahi arba'a. There are 4 things that cut off from Allah. There are 4 things or 4 creatures that cut from Allah, that cut you off from Allah. Ash-shaytan. That's the principal one. Ash-shaytan. An-nafs. Your desires. An-nafs. An-nafs, which is yourself. What is meant by an-nafs here is self-desire. The desire of your heart. What you love of this, what you love of desire. You the love of the world. Love of position, love of women, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ, and so on and so forth. وَالدُّنْيَا, and dunya, the world, it cuts you off from Allah. Because you are always busy. No time, sometimes even no time for praying in the mosque. That is if you keep up the prayer. Some people, the world, it cuts them off from Allah. It cuts them off even from praying on time, less of praying in congregation. So that is number 3. Number 4, al-khalq, the creation, people. But it's called al-khalq because it's not only people, but there are non-human beings that cut you off from Allah. Like what? Jinn? No, jinns are under shaitan. Non-human beings that cut you off from Allah. What example do we have? Social network. To either we mean creation. Al-makhluqat, creation of Allah. But they are not human beings. Malaika, they cut you off from Allah. They take you to Allah. Angels. Animals. What? Yes. Animals. زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث. Pets. No, it's part of dunya. One is part of dunya. Family interest. Family interest. Yeah, it's part of khalq, but those are human beings. Those are human beings. Wives, sons, daughters, friends, neighbors. Yes, they can be brothers and sisters. Colleagues at work. Party people. You are in the same party together. People in the
especially our kind of politics.
Our kind of politics. They will always because you are a party member and you are holding a position from the party, they will fill your house. It's time for prayer, they won't go, they won't let you go. So you see, they cut you off from Allah. But other human beings, like what? Like dogs. You have a dog and you are not permitted. It's not permissible for you to keep the dog because it's not the dog that is permissible for you to hold. Just you want to take it as a pet. You want to take the dog as a pet. It cuts you off from Allah. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever holds a dog that is not permitted for him to keep, then every day a sizable portion of the reward of his deeds will be cancelled for him. A sizable amount. But if it is permissible for you to hold, then that is not a pet. Like for it to guard your house, to guard your farmhouse, to accompany your sheep and your cows when you are rearing them, or for hunting, use it to hunt. These are not pets. But to keep it as a pet, people who are into dogs, they sleep with the dog. Sometimes when the dog dies, they are taken to hospital. They suffer mental breakdown. They get attached to the dog more than they get attached to people. So these are all things that cut you off from Allah. But if not a dog, cats too, they are pets, but they are permissible for you to hold. But can cats, can they cut you off from Allah?
They don't have that. Dogs do. Cats do.
They will not cut you off from Allah.
Hardly.
The
attachment is different.
So they will not be part of this. They will not be part of the creation that will cut you off from Allah. In what way? So if they are not, because you see there is barakah, because the Prophet ﷺ, he declared, he said, "Innaha min at-tawafina alaykum wa at-tawafat." They are among the animals that come into you and go out and cycle around you. They are your pets. فَإِلَاجُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Now, how do you deal with these four elements that cut you off from Allah? He said, فَإِلَاجُ الشَّيْطَانِ. The solution for shaitan, al-isti'adha wal-mukhalafatu lahu. Taking refuge in Allah and disobeying Him. Wal-mukhalafa. Disobeying Him. That is why in the Quran, Allah keeps repeating to us, إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. he is indeed an open enemy to you. فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًا. He is an enemy, then hold him as an enemy. So which means, will you obey your enemy? No, you don't. So the solution for shaitan not to cut you from Allah is two things. Seek Allah's refuge from him. Do isti'adha. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا إِذَا مَسَّهُمْ طَائِفٌ مِّنَ الشَّيْطَانِ تَذَكَّرُوا. Tadhakkaru, that is, they remember. Because the thing about shaitan is that the moment you mention the name of Allah, he will hide. Even when he's doing waswas. You can't see him when he's instructing you, when he's doing waswas. But the moment you mention Allah, you remember Allah, he will lie low. Then when you forget, he will come back. So that is one thing. Al-isti'adha, which is part of dhikr. And then al-mukhalafa, that is disobeying him. And how do you disobey him? How do you disobey him?
By obeying Allah.
Also, sometimes you don't realize that you are obeying him. You don't realize that you are obeying shaitan. Because he doesn't come to you because he's smart. He will come to you in a way to cover his tracks. So that is why the important thing is to realize that this is from shaitan. This is from shaitan. When it comes, the moment you realize that this is from shaitan, then inshallah you've defeated him.
Exactly.
Look at the Prophet of Allah Musa. When that man from his tribe, he asked him to help, he asked for his help against their enemy, and the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, he hit him, and the man died. What did Musa alayhi salam say? هذا من عمل الشيطان. This is from shaitan. إنه عدو مضل مبين. Immediately he realized, he said, this is from shaitan. This is from shaitan. That is why also, the mention of shaitan should be frequent on our tongues. You say that what the meaning, or what I mean by this is anything evil immediately connected with shaitan. Anything evil connected with shaitan. Yes, like don't say I have forgotten. Shaitan made me forget. وَمَا أَنْسَانِهُ إِلَّا شَيْءٍ وَإِمَّا يُنْسِيَنَّكَ الشَّيْطَانِ. When shaitan makes you forget. That Allah says, وَإِمَّا يُنْسِيَنَّكَ الشَّيْطَانُ فَلَا تَقْعُدْ بَعْدَ الذِّكْرَى مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. If shaitan makes you forget, then don't continue sitting down with the people that are wrongdoers. And you say, no, you say shaitan. Yes, don't attribute to Allah what is bad. But you attribute all evil to shaitan. So that will help you in disobeying him. وَعِلَاجُ النَّفْسِ, and the cure for your desires, the cure for what your heart wants, what yourself wants, is bilqahar. You overpower yourself. That is, be in control. Be in control. So that you don't just, you don't act impulsively. Don't act impulsively with your nafs. Al-qahar, that is, take control. وَإِلَاجِ الدُّنْيَا, the cure of the world, be zuhud, by doing without. Take little and do without much. Do without. How do you do without the world? That is, you don't go after the pomp and glory of the world. وَإِلَاجُ الْخَلْقِ, and the cure, the solution for the creation, بِالْإِنْقِبَاضِ, by restraining yourself from mingling wal-uzla, and turning away. Al-uzla, that is, you not boycott, solitary, you confine yourself, confinement. That is, avoid mingling with people. So you only mingle with people to the level that is part of the Sharia, to attend the prayers, to attend majalis al-ilm, majalis al-dhikr, because that one is not that kind of intermingling. So which means you have to be very careful in going to playground, in going to restaurants. Madikuma, you go with family so that they have a good time. Yes.
1 hour, 10 minutes now.
Okay. So we'll stop here.
I have a small question.
Naam.
By his creation,
Naam.
no one can confront Shaitan
Eh.
and say, let me confront him and deal with him.
And deal with him.
That is why we are taught this isti'adha.
Isti'adha, yes.
Even prophets are also taught to seek Allah's refuge
Naam.
against the evil.
Naam.
There is no cure other than isti'adha.
Isti'adha, naam.
May Allah guide us.
I mean, but the prophets are protected because of Isma. They are protected. He doesn't have power over the prophets too, because Laka alayhim sultan. My slaves, you don't have power over them. You don't have power over them. So Shaitan will not have power over the who are those that shape them? Huh? Who are the ones? Who are those ibad? Huh? From the Quran, how do we know those that Shaitan will not have power over them? Illa ibadaka minhumul mukhlasin. That is one. From among people, angels, he doesn't have. Isa. Now, who are the awliya Allah? The Quran is specific about them. لإنه ليس له سلطان على الذين آمنوا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. He doesn't have power over those who believe and they rely on their Lord alone. Those who join these two qualities, al-iman wa tawakkul. Shaitan will not have power over them. May Allah make us among them. May Allah put us among them. Alhamdulillah.
Interesting lesson.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.